Dirt Road Podcast. As always, me, the host, Marshall Farnsworth, with co-host Alex Breitenbach. How's it going?
Doing fine. How about you?
Good. Just got back, as I was saying, from a wedding in Central Ohio. Pretty cool. Haven't been to a wedding in a little while. Probably about 2 years since I've been to a wedding reception. And I think the last actual wedding I've been to might have been our cousin Dave. Actually, we were both at.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a while ago. How long ago was that?
That was like early 2017. I think that I was at
that's a couple years ago.
I was at a wedding reception about 2 years ago, end of 2018, but not the actual wedding. So that might have been the last full-on wedding and wedding reception I've been to. It's like over 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, that's that I haven't been to a wedding in a while either. So that I think you're right. The last wedding I went to was definitely cousin Dave's,
which is actually in Central Ohio again, Columbus. There you go.
It's good to hear.
So we got some podcast news, the big news to drop. We have now reached 1,000 total streams, which is pretty awesome.
Going on up in the world.
About just under 900 for the traditional podcasting platforms. And then, not getting very many streams off YouTube right now, but we've got 150 or whatever. So that adds up to over 1,000. So that's pretty awesome. Huge surge in listeners this last month. Again, we keep breaking records. We are at 254 now for our monthly record that we keep breaking from mid-September to mid-October. Big things are going to come with this podcast soon. I just know it.
Definitely.
We're going to be, I think we're going to be able to keep this surge in listeners because the quality of these episodes is going to go up because we've got the Brooks and Dunn albums we're going to be listening to, talking about. Those are ones actually that people know. And then we've got some guests coming up. I think people from my other podcast, The Fake Punt, they're going to be on here soon. And then we're looking for a social media intern. So keep in mind for that, hoping to get some more coverage on the social medias. And then the last thing is also I got a little notification from Anchor. I'm going to try to experiment a little bit with putting some music into our podcasts that are on Spotify, because Spotify is kind of connected with Anchor. So we might be able to add a little bit of some of this music in there for those ones. So look out for that. But we've got one song right now in between. We just ended the 1980s. We're into the 90s. One song for 1990 before we get into the Brooks and Dunn 91 album. And that is Tomorrow's World. Kind of a strange, probably no one in here has probably heard about it. I found out about it on Wikipedia, had to do some research to find out what this song even is. It is on YouTube. And so it says Warner Brothers released an Earth Day themed single in 1990 titled Tomorrow's World. It was written by Kix Brooks and Pam Tillis. And the song featured a ton of different artists, which I'll read off in a second. But there's so many artists that basically it's typed out as just as various artists, or you might see Kix Brooks and Pam Tillis with various artists. It says it charted at number 74 on the country chart on May 5th, 1990.
Does it say how long it stayed for?
I do not know.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, that's a...
So the I found this little flyer, and so this is who it says is on the song. There's a ton of people, and this is not just the music. This is not including the musicians. It has the musicians below. These are the actual singers. So of course, Kix Brooks and Pam Tillis. Also, Highway 101, T. Graham Bell, Vince Gill, Bush Baker, Rusty Golden, Billy Hill, Dan Seals, Holly Dunn, Kevin Welch, Lynn Anderson, Susie Bogus, the Birch Sisters, Mac Wiseman, Foster and Lloyd, William Lee Golden, Johnny Rodriguez, Les Taylor, Shane Barmby, and Shelby Lynn. So there's, a ton of people. And then let me go down here. And then this is the little flyer that it reads. It's the song you're going to find, it's very kind of a churchy kind of feel. It says, Earth Day is a celebration, an awakening, a call to action for a long-term commitment to rebuild a safe, healthy, and beautiful world. America joins over 100 nations to mark a new turning point. Critical issues link local concerns with a worldwide crisis, from recycling, limited resources, hazardous waste and pollution, to deforestation, ozone depletion, and global warming. Earth Day 1990 launches the beginning of Earth Week, Earth Year, and a decade of the environment. Tomorrow's
That's
world.
A beautiful statement.
Oh, sorry. That was the first part talking about Earth Day. Then goes on, and I can't quite tell. Oh no, wait, no, I don't think. No, Kix Brooks did not write this part. Someone named Katie B wrote the second part, more specifically about the song. It says, tomorrow's world is today's children. They face the fear of a threatened environment, but through a song comes hope and vision. This is a plea for the future. Tomorrow's world is a musical message to spread awareness of the pressing dangers and the urgency of protecting our global home. To educate people of all ages and to generate the feeling that we can make a difference. This issue truly belongs to the children. They are the ones who will inherit our endangered planet Earth. And there's a little quote by Kix Brooks and Pam Tillis that says, we need to help because we must save tomorrow's world today. So there you go. A lot, once you start digging, that you find out. So, and I actually, oddly enough, were you able to find the lyrics? I found the lyrics myself.
I was not able to find the lyrics. I did some superficial digging on it originally, but not wasn't able to find concrete stuff.
So I found off some kind of website called 45cat.com. So for all you listeners of these old 45s, take notes. Also says producer Jim Ed Norman. So there you go. So I found the lyrics on here. So here's the breakdown of the song. So it's got about an 8 seconds intro of piano. And then it goes into the first verse, which features the first 2 lines is this guy, T. Graham Brown. And then the next line, Susie Bogus and Vince Gill. Next line, Foster and Lloyd. And then the last 2 of that verse, Highway 101. And basically it says that they've used the world as if there's no tomorrow, and that we need to make the world the kind of place that you want to live in, and kind of describe different aspects of nature and earth. And then the chorus, kind of everyone sings, and it says that tomorrow is the future of our children. Second verse features Shane Barmby, Billy Hill, Shelby Lynn, and Johnny Rodriguez, and Mac Wiseman at the end. And it says, basically, bring the earth back to the way it was when these artists were young. Chorus comes again, everyone's singing. Then the bridge, we get William Lee Golden, and then the second line, it says, and the great whales in the sea. That's the only part that really features Kix Brooks. Besides the chorus, I think he's
Interesting.
also in. So,
Interesting.
um, so there's not even one single line that's solely dedicated to Kix Brooks because he's also on there with Pam Tillis. And then the rest of that bridge, Lynn Anderson, Les Taylor, Rusty Golden, the Birch Sisters, Butch Baker, Kevin Welch, and the bridge basically describes different parts of the earth that they think need protected. And then the chorus comes one more time. So what do you think about this song here?
I mean, I was quite intrigued. This is the first time I'd ever heard this song before or even knew it existed. There's nothing, at least that I could find, on Kix Brooks's page about it. I'm surprised they didn't have a sort of cheesy music video to accompany this song, but I think, this is a very important song, obviously, because, and I think it's still, the message of it is still relevant today because, and it's not necessarily political, but it's just saying it kind of reminds me of the Alabama song. There's a song by Alabama called Pass It On Down, which is all about, not necessarily about saving the environment, but at least keeping the earth, a good place for our children. And I think, in terms of this, in terms of this world and, how we address climate change and, global warming and stuff, the whole message of this song, I think, is very useful in terms of, how we address that. And I also did really like, primarily there was a choir in the chorus, the fact that there was a sort of a gospel feel to it. And I really did like it. Thought it was pretty good.
Definitely has a gospel feel to it. I would, how I described it, I think it's got a really good message. I like the whole, just in general, cleaning up the earth, that's something that anyone could kind of get behind. I like that. Not a country song, more of a gospel song.
Not at all.
Not a country song.
Yeah, no, not in any way a country song. I don't think. I think it's definitely it's got a gospel feel, like you said. It's sort of something that would belong in a church almost. But I think the message of this song is very important. It's something that everybody can get behind. And it's talking about, the future, because we all want a good future for our kids. We all want, we all want a better tomorrow. At least the hope is.
So I actually did not like the chorus. I don't like these kind of gospel-y chorus. I think it kind of, if you have a good singer, it kind of takes away from that, because when you have everyone singing at once, it just kind of, I don't know if there were children singing, but to me, it sounds like children. And I don't know if that's
it sounded
like children. I don't know if that's because they're talking about children, if there's children in there. But
I think there was a children's choir.
It sounds like I'm listening to Kids Bop.
What?
It doesn't sound like it. Kids Bop gospel. It doesn't sound like that until the chorus.
No, not at all. I disagree with that point. I mean, okay.
Kids Bop Jesus.
Yes, you could make the point that it sounds like a Kids Bop track, or at least the chorus does. But I mean, dude, it's about saving. It's about creating a better environment for tomorrow's children. So I like that they have, children's voices on the track, in order to, further cement that point.
The children,
I think that's part of the song. You just can't have, something like that. Because it's I've seen a couple other artists in country music do this before, where they have, some sort of children's choirs, or, just to have children's voices on their track. Like Brad Paisley has a track called Ain't Nothing Like, where he's talking about the simple pleasures of life. And it's basically, he has children at the end of the song come in and sing the chorus. But I think for this song, it's generally important. And I mean, I could sort of see how it sounds like a Kids Bop track, but I don't think that's the majority of the song. I mean,
No, it's not the majority. It's only the chorus. I think yeah, definitely makes sense because they're talking about the children. I just don't really like it. I don't think it sounds like
I
something
thought
I'd
it
really
sounded
listen to.
fine. I don't think that there's really anything like, and I'll agree to disagree on that. But I think, I thought it sounded fine. I don't think there's any like, I mean,
This
okay.
is
Now, honestly, I didn't hear, I noticed you said Vince Gill's on the track. I did not hear Vince Gill's voice at all. So I don't know where he was on this track, but
well,
no,
they
I
only
think,
get a very short amount of time, so you can miss them real quick.
yeah, like
But
maybe two words, and that's it.
my my favorite part really stood out to me of this, and this might make you laugh. So in the third chorus, my favorite part is there's some dude, like they're all these children are singing, and then this guy, older dude, out of nowhere, kind of this jazzy kind of voice out of nowhere says, "I've got a little boy." Like they're like I like
I
that.
thought that.
That's a gospel type of thing. That was so funny. I
Well,
love that. Like
yeah, of course. It just adds to the vibe, like that mystery guy who says, "I've got a little boy." And although he's trying to say, like, save the world for tomorrow. I got a little boy at home. Come on, man. Like that's. I
then
mean,
he comes back. He comes back a little bit later and he's like he says little baby boys and girls. It was funny. He just kind of repeats what the rest of the people are saying, but kind of says it a little bit different. Though that was my highlight of it. Um, you know,
I mean, you can't
my
laugh at
general
the guy.
opinion my general opinion is good message. Don't care for the song. That's my
Well,
take.
see, okay, I disagree. I like the song. I care for the message, and I happen to like the song, regardless of whether or not there's a guy who says, "I got a little boy at home," or something like that. That was bad voice crack there, but just like regardless of whether or not there's a guy saying that, I mean, guy or no guy, I think it's fine. I think children's choir or no children's choir, it's fine. It's a good song.
Well, that about wraps it up for the song. Also, it did say that there is a music video. I think on Wikipedia or somewhere I saw. I know you mentioned music video, but I can't find it. So I think somewhere down there, somewhere deep in the files, there might be a music video for this, but I can't find it. So we might be returning back to that at some point. But until then, that wraps up tomorrow's world.
See you next week.
See ya.